I'm Steve Clough, and I am Ginny's youngest brother, much younger than she was. I always wanted to remind her. We wanted just to take a few minutes. If somebody has a memory or a story or just a reflection on Ginny's life, and if you'd like to come up here, that's fine. If you'd like me to bring the mic to you, I can do that as well, if that's okay with the guys in the back. I will start. When Ginny was 16 and we were living in Michigan, we had good friends in whose car we were riding, and they had just gotten a new mixed breed puppy. And you need to know that my sister loved her family, but she loved dogs. So she realized as we were riding, and she was riding in the middle in the back seat, that the puppy was sitting on her lap, and she didn't know how long it had been since the puppy had been out. So she held the puppy up and looked into Mitzi's eyes and said, "You'd better not piddle on me, because if you do, I'll piddle on you." At which the owners in the front of the car said, "Now that's a show I have to see." Don't be shy. If you have a memory or something you'd like to share, please stand and I'll come to you. If you don't, I'm going to talk.
Tablecloths and settings, and I mean, I was amazed when I went over to her house, and we had the best time planning that, and I will always remember that. She made all the food. I think one of her daughters made the chicken salad. It was really good. And the neighbors just came out, the women just came out in droves. They just had known about her teas from before, because I had just moved in the neighborhood. I'd only lived there 4 years. And they said, "Oh yes, I'll be there. I know Jenny's teas." So that is one thing. I will miss her dearly. She was a good friend and a wonderful neighbor to both of us.
Well, I am Mark Clough, and I am Jimmy's cousin. Steve's dad and my dad were brothers. And we, last Thanksgiving, all got together as a family over at our place, and we kind of tested out our new place. And then we found out that it still was big enough to put the family in one place together, and that we had a great time. But the greatest time was after everybody left, and Jenny stayed with us. And we had an opportunity to sit on the furniture that was all pushed back to the walls and just talk about the old times and what we remember. And because Steve's family and Jenny's family were people in the pastorate, we didn't get a chance to know one another very well while we were growing up. But as we got to be adults and we got to kind of all come together in the same Indiana area, we have had a chance to know one another a lot. One of the things that I remember about Jenny was her going with us on a senior trip to Boston. And we were wondering how that would work, because Jenny was from another city, and we were mostly people who knew one another. But I watched Jenny during the week that we were gone go from couple to couple and person to person, and just in her own way encourage them. And there was just something about Jenny that had a servant's heart and knew how to touch each one of us individually. I'll not forget that.
I can do that. My name is David Crawshaw. I get to be Aria's fourth grade teacher this year, and it was a really neat opportunity to get to know. I knew her as Nana. I didn't even know we called her Jenny. So Aria made that very clear. But this past fall, Nana got to come on a field trip with us to Purdue University, and we were heading back from Purdue University. And there was a massive accident, probably 2 miles ahead of us. And for those of you that don't work in the elementary level, that can cause some anxiety within our students. So we were stuck in traffic for close to 3 hours in dead stop traffic. And I was in charge of all of it. So trying not to panic, and was trying to call school and trying to organize how dismissal was going to work, and trying to make sure my students were not in panic mode. And so I'm running in and out of the bus, like looking to see if traffic's moving, and I'm trying to call, my phone dies, and trying to get other things. So all this stuff's going on. I calmly have this hand on my shoulder, and I turn around and it's Nana, and she says, "Hey, can I sing with the students?" And I was like, "Good luck." But she somehow got 36 students and all the adults to calm by singing. So I heard the testimony of her love for singing. I got to witness that firsthand. And so the grace of the Lord working through Nana, and an opportunity to put a situation that could have been traumatic for a lot of students, and she said, "Let me lead in soothing this situation, or in helping this situation." And so that's how I remember that.
Anybody else? One more?
I'm Carol Wakefield, and I did not ever have the honor of meeting Jenny, but I am Aaron's and Aaron's neighbor. I would have loved to meet the woman who raised such an incredible daughter. She is the kindest, gentlest, most God-loving woman I think I've ever met. And her mother must have been quite something to have raised such a beautiful daughter.
Welcome to my stepdaughter, and I just wanted to say, just for people who didn't know me, she was an extremely strong woman. She put up with 4 teenagers, which was a miracle in itself. And she really, she kept us fed, and she was an amazing cook, as all of you know. And she was an incredible grandma. Even though we're from the West Coast, we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with her the last couple of years, but she did. She came out when the kids were born, except the first one because she decided to be late. But they tried to stay way throughout, and she was not having it. But anyway, she really loved her grandkids and her kids, and she was a great grandmother and grandma and Nana, and she was a really special person. So.
Thank you. I have the privilege of trying to say a few things that will give you a picture of this woman who we are here to celebrate, knowing that the only thing that she would really want to be celebrated today is her Lord Jesus. So I'm going to call this little series of comments here. Dig that funky fragrance. It smells like Jesus. After Ginny and I were grown, our parents moved to Indiana, and they lived just west of I-69 on 218, half a mile from a massive pig production operation. And when the wind was blowing from the southeast, we could always tell. And my father, good old farm boy from Nebraska, would fill his lungs and say, smells like money. When he died, we would walk into the apartment that he had built onto our house and know each time that we did that that space was filled with his presence. And Aaron would walk in and say, I still smell Grandpa. Tuesday, when my wife Dawn and I met at Ginny's house with Aaron and Jana, it was Jana who said, you can just smell Mom. It still smells like her. And that is a good thing. It's a characteristic we don't always think about or value much. I was told when I walked like my father that that was a good thing, or that I had the shape of his face, that was a good thing. But I'm still reminded every time I look in the mirror that I have his awful hunched shoulders and his rounded back. Thanks, Dad. But seldom do I wonder if I smell like him, or what or who I smell like. You can check me out after the service and see. A wonderful old black pastor named Bill Pinnell was at an airport when a young pastor recognized this internationally famous guy. And the young pastor came to the old pastor and sat down and poured his heart out about his church. And he said it was large but stagnant, and he articulated the virtues of his multi-million-dollar campus, the youth program, the discipleship program, the young marrieds program, the small group program, the children's program, the young mothers program, and all the other programs. And then he said, but Bill, we have ceased to grow, and I don't understand the problem. But Bill, you are a church growth expert. Can you help us? And of course, what he wanted was a 3-step program with a quick fix solution that would cost him very little and gain everything. And Bill's response when I heard him tell this story just electrified me, and it's been with me for a couple of years. I tried to get over it, but I can't. And he said this. Young man, he said, I know what you want, but in the middle of all that programming and that effort and that promotion and that money being spent, maybe all you need to give them is simpler than you think. It's in 2 Corinthians 2, son. Have you ever considered just giving them the fragrance of Jesus?